नमस्कार, म पूजा मानन्दर, सेक्रेटरी जनरल RFP नेपाल. म सबैजनालाई स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु. Welcome everybody to our online campaign on child marriage. We are live on Facebook. Thank you all for joining us. We would really appreciate your engagement in our discussion. Please show your support with your likes and comments. Also, I would like to thank Image Channel for the technical support. Without them, I don't think we could have gone live like this. आज हामी बाल विवाहको विषयमा छलफल गर्दैछौँ. We are doing a panel discussion on child marriage. We are present here with representation from various faiths, Jain, Hindu, Brahma Kumari, Christian and Buddhist. Mr. Abdul Jabbar is late. Maybe he will join us shortly after a while. Let's hope. And we also have, I'm very happy for the women participation in our discussion. Now let's go towards the introduction. I would like each of our panelists to introduce themselves. Please कृपया आफ्नो नाम परिचय दिदिनु होला. Just name, संस्था and designation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. म ब्रह्म कुमारी कृति प्रजापिता ब्रह्म कुमारी सूर्य विश्वविद्यालयमा म नियमित अध्ययन गर्छु र त्यहाँ आध्यात्मिक शिक्षा त्यसको साथसाथै राजयोग मेडिटेसनको अनुभव अरूलाई सुनाउँछु र त्यसको ज्ञान पनि अरूलाई समय प्रति समय प्रदान गरि नै रहन्छु. Thank you.
Yes, everybody. I'm Thomas Bogaty. I'm involved with Church TV and also I'm a National Youth Coordinator for Religion for Peace Nepal, and I'm from a Christian faith.
I'm Sanjana Sethia. I come from Jain Samaj and currently a member of Kanya Mandal.
म चाहिँ भिक्षु खेमानन्द गणमा बिहारबाट गणमा बिहारमा चाहिँ आवासीय भिक्षु हो. म चाहिँ अहिले गणमा बिहारमा बसेर चाहिँ बौद्ध धर्मको अध्यापन गरिरहेको छु.
Thank you all for your introduction. Now let me brief you about why we are here. Religion for Peace, together with Asian Conference of Religion for Peace, ACRP, has mobilized the chapter in South Asia to participate in the development of regional faith engagement strategy on children issue. The strategy outlines the need to mobilize congregational groups and networks to advance and advocate for interventions and practices that promote positive change for children in South Asia. As part of this activities, ACRP has mobilized Youth Interfaith Network members from 5 different countries. So Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka to highlight children's issue in South Asia. Just like us here in RFP Nepal, the other South Asian countries are also doing a similar kind of campaign on children-based issues. RFP Nepal chose to campaign against child marriage because according to the data, one of the main problems in Nepal is child marriage. The legal marriage age in Nepal is 20. Globally, girls who marry before 18 are considered child brides, yet closely to 40% girls under age of 18 are married in Nepal, making the country one of the worst examples in Asia. Child marriage has been illegal in Nepal since 1963. In the year 2017, the government has increased the legal age of marriage to 20. As per Article 173 of the Criminal Code, a person found guilty of either committing or arranging a child marriage is subject to jail term up to 3 years and also fine of ₹30,000. Even with these laws and policies, we still have this problem of child marriage, and that is why we are here campaigning against child marriage. RFP नेपाल च्याप्टरले चाइल्ड म्यारेजको विरुद्ध यो अभियान सुरु गरेको छ. हामी अब यही अभियानको निमित्त यहाँ प्यानल डिस्कसन सुरु गर्दैछौँ. आज हाम्रो 3 वटा प्रश्नमा डिस्कसन गर्ने छौँ. The key questions for discussions are, can we have the 3 questions for discussion? Yes. The number one question is, how does child marriage affect children in Nepal? Number two, what should be done to stop child marriage, and by who? What specific roles can religious leader plays in stopping child marriage, and who else can they work with? अब पालो पहिलो क्वेशनको बाल विवाहले नेपालका बच्चाहरूलाई कसरी प्रभाव गरिरहेको छ? How does child marriage affect children in Nepal? Let's start the discussion.
Thank you.
हजुर.
बाल्यकाल आफैमा एक स्वर्णिम काल हो जसमा बाल बालिकाहरू आफैमा निश्चिन्त हुन्छन्, जसमा कुनै चिन्ता हुँदैन, बन्धनमुक्त पनि हुन्छन्. खेल्ने कुद्ने, हामी हरेक बालबालिकालाई खेलेको कुदेको नै देख्न चाहन्छौँ. तर बाल विवाह यस्तो एउटा अभिशाप भनौँ जसमा बाल्यकालको त्यो सुखद अवस्था छ, त्यसको अनुभूति हुन नदिनु हो. एउटा कोमल हातमा कलम र खेलौना हुनुको सट्टा विवाहको बन्धनमा बाँधिदिन्छौँ र त्यसको साथसाथै पुस्तकको झोला काँधमा नभएर जिम्मेवारीको बोझ बोकाइदिन्छौँ. त साँच्चै नै आफैमा यो दुःखदायक घटना पनि हो. त यसलाई हरेक रूपमा यसले असर पारिरहेको हुन्छ. हामी हेरौँ शारीरिक रूपमा सबैभन्दा पहिला बच्चामा र आमामा पनि हुन्छ. विशेष गरी मालन्युट्रिसन, वेट गेन हुन सक्दैन बच्चामा, र विशेष गरी अकाले मृत्युको पनि डर हुन्छ त्यस समयमा. शारीरिक रूपमा र आमामा पनि शारीरिक दुर्बलता हुने कुराहरू हुन्छ. र यसै गरी जब हामी मानसिक लेभलमा जान्छौँ, मानसिक रूपमा हेर्छौँ भने चिन्ता हुन्छ, असन्तुष्टता हुन्छ आफ्नो जीवनप्रति, र एउटा अपमान होइन, अपमानको फिलिङ हुन्छ कि मलाई यसरी अलग गरियो होइन. जबकि एउटा परिवारलाई नै मजाले चिनेको हुँदैन, परिवारबाट बिछोडेर अर्को कुनै नौलो परिवारमा गएर एडजस्ट गर्नुपर्छ होइन. त यसै गरी मानसिक रूपमा सबैभन्दा इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा भनेको उसलाई दुर्भाग्यशालीको अनुभव हुन्छ होइन. र हामी जब सामाजिक रूपमा गएर हेर्छौँ, समाजमा विशेष गरी कुमारीलाई पूजा गरिन्छ, एउटा देवीको स्थान दिन्छ. जब कुनै पनि शुभ कार्य हुन्छ, पञ्च कन्यालाई अगाडि राखिन्छ. यसले के बताएको छ भन्दा कन्या आफैमा एक पूज्य स्वरूप हो. त वैवाहिक बन्धनमा बाँधिदिनु नै यसमा एउटा पवित्रताको खण्डन पनि हुन जान्छ. त यसै गरी जब हामी आर्थिक रूपमा हेर्छौँ भने स्वतः नै एउटा सिक्वेन्सले हामी हेरौँ, जब शारीरिक रूप, मानसिक रूप र सामाजिक रूपमा कमी हुन्छ, स्वतः नै आर्थिक रूपमा पनि कमी हुन्छ. थ्याङ्क यू.
Thank you. Thomas.
Yes, as she said, child marriage is one of the most leading factor that actually stops children, especially grown in this or the babies or the population that we have right now in this modern age. They don't get to experience, I think, the life we need to experience. So they are also facing a problem like dropouts. They don't have chance to have higher education, and as she said, the high responsibilities that they have. Due to that, they don't have a good career as well. They don't have their own right to choose what profession they can have, what kind of wife they need in the future, this kind of stuff. And also the other stuff that they face is a very different kind of society. Like if they are having a child marriage, they fall into a different kind of group. Like they are always compared with people who have a better family, with a civilized family, because right now in modern societies what we have in our mind is like people who are having child marriage, this is not good. So the psychological effect that they have, both the children, like male and female, they are going to face that. And I think in most of the time it's the female who gets married quite early to the elder males as well. So in that case, I think there is brutally attacks over this girl child in the house from the male when she doesn't obey them, or like the paternal family that she is in, when she is not listening to them and she's not doing household chores. At that time she's badly mistreated. Because why they do child marriage is because in the family they want her to do some sort of household work. So she's not meant to go out, do other stuff, educate herself, understand the modern society, what is happening, get exposed. This kind of thing is out of her reach. Also, like when the child is having a marriage in early age, we can see that most of the male child, they are forced to go abroad for the work, because they have to earn for their parents, they have to earn for their wife, and also due to premature birth, now they even have added population in their own family. So he has to look after this young child, and that is a huge burden to this male child as well. So he has to go abroad, and as we know, he can't make enough money. And when the children are having early child marriage, what I have seen as a media person is there's this problem of elopement. When the male child is off there in the abroad to work, the female child will have some sort of relationship most of the time. So there is this impact even in the society. And also this girl child, she doesn't know what's happening, but still she's engaged. If some male guy who comes with a good language, with good properties or like anything, if he is able to convince this young child, then this will cause elopement and broken relationship.
Yes,
So you
yes,
see,
definitely. Male लाई पनि धेरै नै effect गर्छ.
broken relationship. When he comes from abroad to
हजुर.
Nepal, he sees his family is broken. So you can see he cannot have his own destiny here. His life is also destroyed, but at the same time, the girl child's life is also destroyed. Most of the things are impacting very badly to the child. So what happens to the child that they have given birth when his mother has run away with another guy? Even the another child is already in problem, and this cycle has been repeating. If you see in the remote areas, mostly in the remote areas and in the backward communities, in Nepal we have some of the marginalized community that even the government of Nepal doesn't give so much of attention or care. Even the media person, they don't care. Like I can tell you, there are some communities like Musar communities, or the people called Rautes or Chepangs, they still live in some forest areas. They even do not know that child marriage is a problem. So that is one of the most biggest problem here. They even don't know the child marriage is a problem, so they are doing this child marriage in these remote areas. I think I forgot to mention one community. That community is a Bogaty community, and this physical relationship from the early child is very common in that community. So the child marriage is very common in that place. Due to I'll tell you due to what kind of practice. These people have this traditional practice, like they have to do a flesh trade to make their living. So what the parents do to girl child, even they don't have to marry, they can have a physical relationship with other man for money, even without having marriage. So you can see that child marriage along with sexual exploitation in certain communities are hampering life of children very badly in this country.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, child marriage is a misdemeanor which is not only affecting the physical but mental and social well-being of both females and males. Talking about the girls, the main problem that they go under is health problems. Talking about a disease or a health problem, which is obstetric fistula. Obstetric fistula is basically when the uterus is, when the baby's head is too big to come out of the womb or the uterus. How can we expect a girl who herself is 15 or 14 years to give birth to a baby who is whose head is too big to come out of her womb? That's not possible, and that is considered a crime. Talking about the boys, himself face a lot of problems of responsibilities. Being young groom is not easy for them. They have to feed themselves, their family, and another two members, which are wives and their babies. According to the recent report, it was noted that around 22,000 females have died due to child marriage because of early pregnancy that is happening. And the girls and the boys both lose their independent life, their freedom that they could live while they were not married with each other. The girls face problems related to education, and they can't do the stuff that they used to do at their parents' home because now they have full responsibility of domestic chores, and this is affecting the present generation as well as is going to affect the generation which is coming further on. And so this is a very big problem that needs to be eradicated now.
Thank you. हजुर
जस्तै अब बाल विवाहको कुरा गर्दाखेरि हामीले चाहिँ त्यसको अगाडि चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ बाल विवाह भनेको के हो, जस्तै म्यारिड जस्तो लाइफ भनेको के हो भन्ने पहिले बुझ्नुपर्छ। जस्तै विवाह भनेको एउटा बन्धन हो, जस्तै हाम्रो हिन्दू समाजमा होस् यदि अन्य कुनै समाजमा होस्, सातौं जन्मसम्म एकै बन्धनमा बस्नु सकोस् भन्ने एउटा उनीहरूले चाहिँ भन्ने एउटा चलन छ। तर बाल विवाहमा चाहिँ यस्तो कुनै पनि उनीहरूले अर्थ बुझेको हुँदैन। जस्तै अब हाम्रो गाउँघरको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ जस्तै अब एक परिवारबाट अर्को परिवारमा चाहिँ उनीहरूको चाहिँ आपसी सम्झौता जस्तो समझदारी जस्तो हुन्छ। जस्तै तपाईको छोरी मेरो छोरा एक आपसमा विवाह गरिदिने एउटा उनीहरूको एउटा जस्तै अब उनीहरू सम्झौता जस्तो हुन्छ। त्यो कारणले गर्दाखेरि पनि त्यसमा चाहिँ अन्तिममा उनीहरू चाहिँ मर्कामा पर्ने भनेको चाहिँ उनीहरूको छोरा र छोरी। किन भन्दाखेरि उनीहरूले त थाहा हुँदैन बाल्यकालमा, जस्तै अब खेल्ने समयमा, जस्तै उहाँहरूले अघि नै भनेको जस्तै सानो उमेर भनेको त यदि खेल्ने समय हो, जस्तै आफ्नो मनोरञ्जन गर्ने समय हो, त्यो अवस्था नै उनीहरू चाहिँ बिताउन नपाइँदै उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ विवाह बन्धनमा बाँधिनु भनेको एउटा चाहिँ समाजमा हुने एउटा अपराध जस्तो पनि हो। हुन त लिगली त्यो इलिगली पनि भइरहेको छ अहिले पनि। तर मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ बाल विवाह भनेको चाहिँ एउटा त्यसमा चाहिँ पुरुषहरूलाई भन्दा पनि केटा मान्छेलाई भन्दा पनि केटी मान्छेलाई चाहिँ त्यसले धेरै नकारात्मक असर पर्दछ। केटी मान्छेले किन हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ सानो उमेर भनेको चाहिँ बच्चाहरू चाहिँ प्रायः जस्तो चाहिँ आफ्नो आमा बुवासँग नै हुर्किनु मन उनीहरूको चाहिँ बिताउनु मन पर्छ। तर त्यो समयमा नै उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ अलग पारिदिनु भनेको चाहिँ एउटा एक दृष्टिकोणबाट हेर्यो भने चाहिँ त्यो एउटा पनि पाप जस्तो नै हो भनेर चाहिँ म सम्झिन्छु।
हजुर, थ्याङ्क यू सो मच। हो डेफिनेटली वी आर रबिङ द इनोसेन्स अफ चिल्ड्रेन बाई हुन्छ नि यो बाल विवाह गराइदिएर। सो थ्याङ्क यू फर योर भ्युज है। चाइल्ड म्यारेज हेज भेरियस नेगेटिभ इम्प्याक्ट। गर्ल्स ड्रप आउट फ्रम स्कुल, उनीहरूले आफ्नो हेल्थलाई जोखिममा राखिरहेको हुन्छन्, बच्चाको हेल्थलाई जोखिममा राखिरहेको हुन्छ। अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ partly born out of poverty, child marriage keeps girls and their family in the cycle of poverty. Married girls are most likely to be victim of domestic violence. Girls who marry between the age of 10 and 14 are 5 times likely to die during pregnancy or childbirth as women in early 20s. Child marriage is estimated to cost economies at least 1.7% of their GDP. It increases total fertility of women by 17%, which hurts developing countries battling high population growth. These are the few things that has been affecting children of Nepal. Now let's go to the second question. हामीले बाल विवाह अन्त गर्नुको लागि के गर्नुपर्छ र यो कसले गर्ने हैन? What should be done to prevent, stop child marriage, and by who? Let's start the discussion. हजुर
अवश्य पनि हामीले यतिका कुराहरू सुन्यौँ हैन। यतिका यसको यति धेरै असर छ मानसिक रूपदेखि लिएर हरेक रूपमा, त्यसको निदान त अति नै आवश्यक छ है। अब यसमा हामीले विशेष गरी अहिलेको समाजमा त के चेतना आइसकेको छ, तर अझै पनि जब हामी दुर्गम क्षेत्रतिर जान्छौँ नि त्यहाँ अझै पनि यो धेरै चलिरहेको छ। त्यसमा हामीले मोबाइल शिक्षा ठाउँ ठाउँमा गएर हामीले शिक्षा प्रदान गर्नुपर्छ र जे हामी देखेको कुरा लामो समयसम्म बस्छ। जस्तो हाम्रो चलचित्रको रूपमा होइन, त्यो चाहिँ पछिसम्म पनि रहन्छ, नाटकको रूपमा त्यसरी गऱ्यौँ भने एउटा सबकन्सियस माइन्डमा बसेको भए पनि पछिसम्म पनि अरूलाई पनि त्यो अनुभव सुनाउन सक्नुहुन्छ। त्यसरी एकबाट अर्कोमा यो सन्देश फैलिन्छ पनि। र अर्को कुरा, जति पनि कुरीति होइन रूढिवादी कुराहरू छन् त्यसमा चाहिँ हामीले अलिकति बिलिफ सिस्टमलाई चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ। त्यो इन्फर्मेसनहरू जति पनि बनिएको छ त्यसलाई हामीले एउटा स्पिरिचुअलको थ्रु पनि त्यसलाई हामीले बनाउन सक्छौँ, सुधार्न सक्छौँ त्यो कुराहरूलाई। कि वास्तवमा जसरी शास्त्रमा पनि लेखिएको छ, गोमालाई सानो उमेरमै विवाह गरिदियो होइन, पुबर्टी भन्दा पनि पहिला गर्यो भने यस्तो प्रकारको बिलिफ सिस्टमहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले तोड्न अति नै आवश्यक छ। किनभने त्यसले गर्दा पनि उहाँहरूलाई इम्फसाइज गरिरहेको हुन्छ त्यो कुरामा, र त्यो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ। र अर्को कुरा, हामीले एउटा बच्चाहरूलाई पनि मौलिक अधिकार दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ। बच्चाहरूलाई पनि एउटा कन्फिडेन्स लेभल बढाउने कि उसले आफ्नो भावनाहरूलाई स्पष्टसँग व्यक्त गर्न सकोस् कि उसले के चाहन्छ, कि उसको भावनालाई दमन गरेर आफ्नो अधिकार जमाएर उसको डेस्टिनेसनलाई तय गर्नु पनि हामीले हुँदैन है। त्यसमा पनि अवश्य पनि। र अहिलेको वर्तमान समयमा एक हुन्छ कसैको बलमा होइन त्यो ग्रन्थ शास्त्रको हिसाबमा त्यो वेमा लानु, र अर्को हुन्छ आफ्नै चोइसले पनि हामी देखिरहेछौँ अहिले युथमा होइन त्यो प्रकारको अट्र्याक्सनहरू आउँछ। जसरी उहाँले अघि भन्नुभयो, अफेयर्सको कारणले गर्दाखेरि पनि बच्चाहरू सानै उमेरमा त्यसमा इन्भल्भ हुन्छन्, र त्यसमा त्यो कुरा गरेर त अवश्य पनि निर्णय शक्ति हुँदैन र पश्चाताप त स्योर हुन्छ। त्यसमा डिभोर्सहरू हुन्छ, मल्टिपल रिलेसनसिपहरू हुन्छ, र त्यसको असर त हरेकले अनुभव गरेको हुन्छ। र जसले अनुभव गर्यो र थाहा पायो उसलाई विशेष गरी आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्स पनि सेयर गर्न लाउने कि यस्तो गर्दा के हुन्छ होइन, त्यसबाट पनि हामी यसको निदान गर्न सक्छौँ।
हजुर, थ्याङ्क यू सो मच थोमस।
Yes, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. To prevent child marriage, I think it begins from home, from parent. I think they need to discuss with the children the causes, the problem. Like causes means what she explained, from the religious belief to the forceful behaviors of the parents, or like the poverty. All of these things should be addressed to the children by the parents themselves. And also parenting should be really good. If parenting is not good, I think there is a lot of situation that will lead to this child marriage.
Yes, parents need to be educated also.
Yeah, educated. And I think besides parents, like what we know is like children, whom they engage with, the relatives, the neighborhood, the communities as a whole. I think they need to address on the problems of child marriage, what is going to happen to them if they are married early. And also we know that in education institutes these things are being taught, but as she said, these things are not going into the rural areas. So we need to go into the places where they do not know child marriage is a bad practice, because most of the time they think that child marriage is a good practice. Like what is it from the when after they are born, the parents, they already have a deal.
Yeah, and it's normal for them.
It's normal for them. So what can we do to make them realize that this is not good? To make them realize that this is a problem. This is a social problem right now in 21st century. This was once okay many years back.
Should never have been okay.
But now it's not good at all. So we also should try to highlight of the legal consequences that they are going to face, because sometimes fear is also needed. The punishment is also needed. Because most of the people, they do not know the consequences of what will happen after child marriage. They just think the problems that will come into their life, like social stigma or like the poverty that's going to happen to them. But that's not the only case. Like they are also going to face the legal charges. That also needs to be highlighted.
Thank you.
So Nepal has committed to eliminate child marriage by 2030 with 5.3 of Sustainable Development Goals. So that is what Nepal goals for right now. There have been organizations, workshops, seminars that are doing stuff and doing things that is eradicating child marriage. But instead of workshops and seminars, I believe incentives economic incentives need to be given to the family so that child marriages can stop. Because it is always that either the parents are poor, so they marry off their child to another family, so that
Yes, poverty is
the main issue. Another that the male family does not ask for dowry, and so they can marry their child without dowry as well.
yeah, that's an incentive
Yeah,
for them.
that's an incentive. So either organizations could give incentive in economic level or by providing food, so that family can sustain by themselves as well rather than not marrying the other. And educating children about sex education, about contraceptions is
Yes.
very important, because sometimes the girls and the female they do stuff which lead to babies, and then they do child marriages, as the other panelist said, which leads to child marriage. But then if they knew that there were contraceptive methods, then they wouldn't have done child marriage and wouldn't have ruined their lives further on. So I believe education and these incentives would be very essential and would help in the future.
For sure. Thank you.
नेपालको कुरा गर्दाखेरि हामीले चाहिँ अब यसलाई कसरी रोक्न सक्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब युनिसेफको जस्तै उनीहरूको चाहिँ प्रतिवेदन हेर्दाखेरि बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ एसियामा प्राय जसो देशहरूमा चाहिँ सबभन्दा फर्स्ट नम्बरमा आउने देशको कन्ट्रीको रूपमा चाहिँ नेपाल चाहिँ चुज गरेको छ त्यो बाल विवाहको। अब यो बाल विवाह कहिलेदेखि भयो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब प्राचीन कालदेखि नै आएको यो विधिलाई अगाडि बढाउनु पर्छ भनेर चाहिँ मानसिकता चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म पनि गाउँघरमा छ। त्यसमा चाहिँ मेन कज भनेको के हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ प्राय जसो एजुकेसन शिक्षाको अभाव। जस्तै अब हामीले चाहिँ यो नेपालकै कुरा गर्दाखेरि सन्दर्भमा कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ प्राय जसो दुर्गम क्षेत्रहरूमा चाहिँ यो बाल विवाहको चाहिँ कुरा निकै नै प्रचलनमा आएको छ। किन भन्दाखेरि त्यो एरियामा चाहिँ प्राय जसो अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ शिक्षाको पहुँच चाहिँ पुगेको छैन। यदि हामीले चाहिँ त्यो शिक्षा त्यहाँसम्म पुगाउन सक्यो भने अनि त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ शिक्षाको माध्यमबाट चाहिँ त्यो बाल विवाहलाई चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ रोक्न सक्छ। अब यसमा कसको भूमिका कसको रोल चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मेन चाहिँ एउटा देशको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ प्रमुखको रूपमा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ न्याय नै हुन्छ, कानुन,
पोलिसी मेकर्सहरु।
हजुर। अब नेपालमा चाहिँ 1963 मा चाहिँ यो लिगलबाट चाहिँ इलिगल भयो भनेर चाहिँ घोषणा गर्यो, तर त्यो चाहिँ न्यायको कानुनको पत्रमा मात्र सीमित भयो। तर त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले प्र्याक्टिकली लग्नको लागि चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ ठाउँ ठाउँमा उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ जानकारी दिनु पर्यो। यसबाट चाहिँ यस्तो इम्प्याक्ट हुन सक्छ समाजको लागि चाहिँ त्यो एउटा चाहिँ शिक्षा पनि दिन सक्नुपर्छ। अर्को कुरा चाहिँ यसको बारे चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्टले पनि अलिकति चाहिँ कडा कानुनहरू ल्याएर चाहिँ पोलिसीहरू बनाएर चाहिँ उनीहरू यस्तो भएमा यस्तो यस्तो सजाय पाउँछ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो कानुनको किताबमा मात्र नभइकन चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिकली नै जानुपर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ मेरो विचार छ। यसबाहेक एनजिओ आइएनजिओबाट मार्फत पनि यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ रोक्न सक्छ भन्ने चाहिँ म चाहिँ विश्वास गर्छु।
Definitely. Thank you for your views. We can do following things to stop child marriage. Report any child marriage happening around you to a proper authorities. Educate your friends, family and community about why child marriage is harmful. Promise to never be part of any event that promotes child marriage. Let's go to the third and the final question. धर्मगुरुहरूले बाल विवाह रोक्नको लागि के गर्न सक्छन् र अरु कोसँग काम गरेर यो रोक्न सक्छन्? What specific roles religious leaders plays in stopping child marriage and who else can they work with? Let's start a discussion.
यसमा धर्मगुरु को उपस्थितिमै हरेकलाई एउटा आन्तरिक शुभ भावना हुन्छ र उहाँहरूले भनेको कुरा आफैमा धारणा गर्नुभएको कारणले गर्दा उहाँहरूलाई सुन्न पनि त्यो सहज लाग्छ र आफ्नो जीवनमा धारण गर्न पनि सजिलो लाग्छ। त्यसैले उहाँहरूबाट यो कार्यमा जागरुकता हुन अति नै आवश्यक छ र त्यसमा धर्मगुरुहरूले पाप र पुण्यको विषयमा स्पष्ट रूपमा बताउनुपर्छ हैन, ताकि उहाँहरूलाई यो थाहा होस् कि हामी कर्म अकर्म विकर्मको विषयमा थाहा भइसकेपछि स्वतः नै एउटा डर भइ आउँछ र यसैगरी हामीले जसरी साइन्सले वेस्टलाई बेस्टमा परिणत गरिदिन्छ होइन, यसरी नै हामीले एउटा सङ्गठित रूपमा होइन मेडिटेसनद्वारा जुन कुप्रथालाई सुप्रथा र कुरीतिलाई सुरीतिमा चाहिँ परिवर्तन गर्ने विशेष भूमिका खेल्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। र यसै गरी हरेक स्थानमा गएर होइन त्यहाँ जसरी एउटा सोचको, किनभने रूढिवादी सोच र अनेक प्रकारका नकारात्मक सोचले हाम्रो शरीरमा त असर पार्छ नै, सम्बन्धमा पनि पार्छ र मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट वातावरणमा पनि पारिरहेको हुन्छ र त्यसको असर प्रकृतिमा पर्ने भएको कारणले गर्दा त्यसको विकासमा पनि बाधा पुग्छ। त्यसैले आफ्नो त्यो एनर्जीको विषयमा, आफ्नो सोचको विषयमा पनि हामीले उहाँहरूलाई स्पष्ट ज्ञान दियौँ भने यस कुरामा हामीले सोच रुटबाट नै हामीले यसलाई चेन्ज गर्न सक्छौँ। यस्तै लाग्छ मलाई।
Thank you for your views.
Yeah, like as a religious leader, I have seen some of the problems with the religious leaders as well.
Okay.
So, if I really need to play an active role as a religious leader, there will always be some of the religious leaders who do not know that child marriage is a problem.
Okay.
They are always based on religion, the faith practice, the magical practice, the spells, and the tradition they need to take part. And they are not taking active participation in learning what she says in science, the technology or the media or the legal procedures, what's happening there, you know. So I think as a religious leader, they need to be completely aware about other aspects as well, not only religious aspect like myth. Right now, for us, child marriage is like a myth they practiced. You know, it needs to be addressed as if it's a myth now. It should not be practiced, it should be abolished totally. So, as a religious leader, they need to take active participation in advocating that as well. Most of the time, people are promoting it right now. If you see in media or like some rural areas, you see that the priests themselves are doing and helping the parents to carry out this child marriage. So what are they doing? They are promoting it. But actually they need to advocate that child marriage should be abolished. They need to change their role a bit now. Before they used to help them organize, means right now if some parents come and they want to do child marriage, they need to explain that it's not good. What's the right age for child to get married? What in this age, what they should do right now? You know, instead of educating them, they are made to do household work. So the role for the children need to be addressed by the religious leaders as well. And sometimes what happens is like children, they are directly taken into some religious institution to become priest, pandit, lamas, something like that. And as a religious leader, what they should teach to these young guys who's going to be religious leader in the future also is that they need to teach that child marriage is not good. We did mistake in the past. We should not do this anymore. So they need to use as many as platforms to highlight that child marriage should be abolished right now.
Okay. Thank you. Sanjana.
So we all know that Nepal is a country who strongly believes in culture, traditions, and is very rich in that as well. So there's a community in which when a girl is born, a china is formed. So it's like a scroll,
China.
which basically decides the fortune of the girl.
Yes.
And the priest tells the fortune of the girl to the parents. I think that instead of telling the fortune or accompanied with the fortune, they could say that they could say that the girl is supposed to get married at 20. You can't marry her before that.
Yes.
And so, of course, parents would listen to them. Parents
Yes.
would listen to the priest and
They
the
can
religious
be an
leaders.
influencer.
And so the religious leaders need to be that influencing so that they can change the mindset of the parents.
Yes.
And another thing that we see priests and religious leaders involved in the marriage rituals, and they do the marriage rituals. What they could do is they could check the citizenship or the birth certificate to check the age. is the age actually above 18 or not? Sorry, 20. And if,
Sadly, people forge these
Yeah.
birth certificates as well. It's really bad.
so not forging, but then if they could check that if the age is above 20, and then only they perform the marriage ritual, it would be great. And I don't think then parents would actually come up to the priest and then they would get their daughters or sons married.
Yeah, true. Thank you. हजुर
जस्तै अब नेपालको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ बाल विवाहमा चाहिँ प्रायः जस्तो चाहिँ समाजमा मात्र सीमित भएको छ। अहिले चाहिँ मेरो व्यक्तिगत विचारमा चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ यो बाल विवाहको कुरा चाहिँ रिलिजियस लिडरमा चाहिँ प्रायः जस्तो इन्भल्भ भएको चाहिँ देख्दैन मैले चाहिँ मेरो व्यक्तिगत विचारमा चाहिँ। किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ सामाजिक रूपमा मात्र यो कार्य चाहिँ अघि बढिरहेको छ। जस्तै अब हाम्रो धार्मिक रूपमा हेर्यो भने चाहिँ यसमा त्यति बाल विवाहमा चाहिँ त्यसको कुरा चाहिँ त्यति गर्दैन जस्तो लाग्छ मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ। अब यसमा चाहिँ धार्मिक गुरुहरूकोबाट चाहिँ अघि उहाँहरूले भनेको जस्तै केही भन्यो भने चाहिँ उहाँहरूले मान्न पनि सक्छ। जस्तै अब जस्तै हाम्रो समाजमा कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ स्कुलमा टिचरहरूले भनेको मान्दैन, तर कुनै धर्मगुरुले भन्यो भने मान्छ। त्यो किन भन्दाखेरि डर हुन्छ, त्यसमा पनि पाप हुन्छ, पुण्य हुन्छ, त्यो कारणले चाहिँ डर हुन्छ। त्यो डरको कारणले पनि उनीहरूले चाहिँ त्यो बाध्यतावश त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ उनीहरू मानिहाल्छ। तर नेपालमा चाहिँ अब अघि जस्तै रिमोट एरियामा भन्यो होइन, दुर्गम क्षेत्रहरूमा, अब त्यहाँसम्म हामीले चाहिँ यो कुरा कमसेकम हामीले चाहिँ धर्म पनि त्यहाँ पुर्याउन सकेको छैन। यदि हामीले धर्म मात्र पनि त्यहाँ पुग्न सक्यो भने रिलिजियस लिडरहरू मार्फत त्यो बाल विवाह चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ कम गर्न सकिन्छ। अब यसरी कम गर्न सकेमा चाहिँ अब उनीहरूमा चाहिँ अब एजुकेसन मात्र होइन कि, जस्तै अब नैतिक शिक्षा पनि हामीले चाहिँ दिनुपर्छ। नैतिक शिक्षा भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब हरेक अब अहिलेको स्कुलहरूमा चाहिँ प्रायः जस्तो नैतिक शिक्षाको चाहिँ एकदम अभाव छ। किनभने नैतिक शिक्षाले नै मान्छेलाई चाहिँ पूर्णता दिन्छ। अब त्यो भनेको चाहिँ आफ्नो गरी खानको लागि चाहिँ प्रायः जस्तो चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ एजुकेसन चाहिँ पढ्न जाने गर्छ, तर नैतिक शिक्षाले चाहिँ मान्छेलाई चाहिँ अपूर्णताबाट चाहिँ पूर्णता दिन्छ। त्यसले चाहिँ बाल विवाह पनि मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ लगभग त्यसले चाहिँ अन्त गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ मेरो विचार छ।
Definitely, moral education is very important. Right? The roles that religious leaders can play are they can talk about harmful consequences of child marriage to people. They can refuse to officiate marriage that involves minors. They can work with NGOs, visit remote areas, and create awareness and talk about negative impacts of child marriage. I think we have discussed all the three questions. Thank you so much for this discussion, and I hope we have a engagement in our social media platform also. Thank you for watching us live, and your support means a lot to us. I would like to thank our panelists. If anything you want to add, you are free to do so.
Thank you so much, Didi.
Yes,
यो सबै तीनटा प्रश्नको उत्तरमा चाहिँ म एउटा सानो कवितामा समेट्न चाहन्छु।
Oh, sure.
एउटा यो निर्दोष बालबालिकाको कोमल गुन्जन हो यो।
Oh.
जन्मली मैले के भूल गरेछु, जन्मली मैले के भूल गरेछु, फक्रिन नपाउँदै उडी जाने धुल बनेछु, फक्रिन नपाउँदै उडी जाने धुल बनेछु। बचाऊ मलाई स्वर सुन्नु अब, बचाऊ मलाई स्वर सुनौ अब, देखिनेछ मुहार विकासको तब, देखिनेछ मुहार विकासको तब। एकजुट भई गरौँ अब बालकको उद्धार, तब मात्र खुल्नेछ है स्वर्गको द्वार, तब मात्र खुल्नेछ है स्वर्गको द्वार। थ्याङ्क यू।
धेरै राम्रो। Any? छैन है? ल अब finally I want to thank Image Channel for the technical support. Thank you Navin Dai, Dipendra, all the camera crew, the technical team. I would like to thank Uday. And yes, I think we have a couple of comments that I would like to read from Muhammad Hanif Khan. Congratulations, thank you. Dilawar Hussain, greetings from RFP Pakistan. Suraj Kumar Bhattarai, very well campaigned. Thank you, Surajji. Indira Adhikari, great program. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Naveen Kalpana Sigdel and Muhammad Hanif are watching. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your engagement and your support. And I would also like to thank our president, Indira Manandraji from RFP Nepal for her support. Lokpanya Golchaji, our vice president from RFP Nepal. Gana Bihar, Bhiku Sobit Pante, thank you very much. Brahma Kumari Rajyog, Mr. Ram Singh, Brahma Kumar Ram Singh Ayarji, thank you so much. From Jain Samaj, Barpika ji and Dinesh Nolakha ji, thank you. Ujwal Gautam from RFP, thank you very much. Lazaras Tamang, I'm so sorry that we had a little bit of a miscommunication, otherwise he would have been here. Hey? Miss you. Thank you, panelists. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Also, thank you from